questions and comments by the representatives of the Austrian companies, and afterwards there can be a small room for interaction with His Excellency the Minister. Without further ado, I invite His Excellency Mr. Ahmed Cطاف, Minister of Foreign Affairs and the National Community Abroad, to deliver his introductory remarks. Please, Mr. Minister.
Thank you. Dear CEOs and representatives of Austrian companies, dear representatives of the Austro-Arab Chamber of Commerce, the Federal Economic Chamber, and the Federation of Austrian Industries, ladies and gentlemen, allow me first to congratulate the Ambassador for this excellent initiative that allows us to meet today. And allow me also to warmly welcome each and every one of you, and to thank you all most sincerely for accepting our invitation. I believe personally that your presence today testifies to your confidence in the prospects of the Algerian-Austrian economic partnership, while bearing witness to your eagerness to know more about the various business opportunities in Algeria. I hope that this meeting will help you get all the information and clarifications you need about Algeria and its new economic prospects. But before going into that, let me say a few words about my visit to Austria, which has started 2 days ago. Honestly speaking, I am here out of a firm belief that there is plenty of room for improvement and enhancement in our bilateral relations. Algeria is currently Austria's third largest trading partner in Africa, with a total amount of almost 400 million euros. The Algerian market has also attracted around 500 Austrian companies, mostly in the trade area, while Austrian investment in Algeria is almost inexistent. To say the least, these two figures I have mentioned do not really reflect the huge potential of partnership and cooperation that exists between our two friendly nations. They do not do so, especially that Algeria is undergoing profound changes as a result of the various economic reforms that have been initiated by the President of the Republic, Mr. Abdelmajid Tebboune. These reforms have indeed unlocked, unleashed the great potential of the Algerian economy, whose good performances have been highlighted in the most recent reports of both the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. Based on these two reports, allow me to picture you the new Algeria with some facts and figures. Algeria stands now as the third largest economy in Africa. The national economic growth rate is estimated as 4.2% in 2023. The growth of non-hydrocarbon sectors has accelerated by 4.9% in 2023. The Algerian GDP is worth $260 billion in 2023 and is expected to rise to $277 billion by the end of 2024. The inflation rate has been moderated to 5% in the first quarter of 2024, down from 9.3% in 2023. The exports outside the hydrocarbon sector have recorded significant increase from $5 billion in 2021 to $7 billion in 2023. They are expected to reach $11 billion by the end of this year. And finally, Algeria has an electricity connection rate of 99%, a gas connection rate of 75%, and a water connection rate of 98%. As a result of these achievements, my country has retained its place among the top 3 African countries in the ranking of the Human Development Index of the United Nations Development Programme. These figures attest to Algeria's sound economic and financial health. They have been the result of the important structural reforms undertaken by the Algerian government to build up a friendly business climate in line with the expectations of foreign investors and foreign partners. In this regard, the 2022 investment law, the 2023 banking and monetary law, the 2023 land law, and the recently initiated reforms of state-owned banks are all aimed at boosting private investment through modernization of customs and tax and banking systems, while adopting new management methods based on transparency, digitalization, and facilitation of procedures, elimination of red tape. These reforms have introduced flexibility on the rule of 5149 ownership governing foreign investment, which is now limited to strategic sectors. They have put in place a more flexible and coherent legal framework that organizes better the act of investing, that offers more incentives for investors, and that guarantees all their rights. Under the new investment law, a single desk was created at the Algerian Investment Promotion Agency, dedicated exclusively to major projects and foreign investments. The other novelty this law has brought about concern the establishment of the investor digital platform, through which all procedures related to investment will be carried out. Besides, this law offers countless advantages in terms of tax and customs exemption, depending on the nature of the project. In brief, the further south the project is located, the more job it creates, the more tax benefits it enjoys. One of the indicators of the success of these economic reforms can be seen in the really unprecedented numbers of investment projects in Algeria that have been announced by foreign companies from different corners of the world. Since the adoption of the new investment law, dozens of big international companies have announced their intentions to set up businesses in Algeria. Besides these reforms, Algeria enjoys unique comparative advantages in the region. Its geographical position makes it a promising hub for trade and investment. Algeria is a gateway to the African market with its vast potential. At the same time, it is a bridge to Europe, a major global economic player. This dual access offers unique business opportunities in Algeria. This position has been further strengthened by the free trade agreements that my country has already concluded with Africa, the European Union, and the Arab world. To further consolidate this asset, Algeria has undertaken the construction of new ports, which will be connected to other African countries through roads with the Trans-Saharan Highway and by trains. In the same spirit, we are increasing our air connections with African and European countries in order to make trade more fluid. Based on all these advantages, Algeria has seriously engaged in a process of diversification of its economy with a view to reducing its dependency on hydrocarbons. Major projects have been launched to that effect, which leads me to say with much confidence that Algeria is no longer about oil and gas. Algeria is indeed diversifying its economy, and this diversification is creating a wealth of business opportunities that I would like to invite you to seize. And in this regard, allow me to brief you on some national priority areas which I believe could present a special interest for Austrian companies. The first priority area concerns the development of renewable energies. Algeria has one of the biggest solar resources in the world, with a sunshine field exceeding 3,000 hours per year in some regions. This potential is reinforced by the existence of an interconnected electric grid, which has encouraged the public authorities to set up a national program for the development of renewable energy. That program aims to produce 15,000 megawatts by 2035 at a rate of 1,000 megawatts per year. 2,000 megawatts are already under construction. The expected gas revenue saved once these 15,000 megawatts are fully produced would be more than $3.6 billion. This gain should boost the share of renewable energies in our national energy mix. In addition, Algeria has recently adopted a roadmap for the development of hydrogen, which aims to make Algeria a pioneering country at the regional and international levels in the production and marketing of this new energy. We are working to supply the European market with nearly 10% of its needs by 2040. In this respect, I would like to particularly welcome the keen interest shown by a leading Austrian group in the project South H2 Corridor that has been initiated together by Algeria, Austria, Germany, and Italy. The second priority area is that of unlocking the potential of mineral resources in Algeria. As part of the action plan for the period 2020-2024, Algeria has set up the goal of developing the mining sector, which has been underexploited for several decades. In this regard, the Algerian authorities have recently launched 3 major structuring projects. The first one is the integrated phosphate mega project in Tebessa, east of the country, which aims at producing over 10 million tons of phosphates per year. The second project is an iron mine in Tidjouf, in the southwest of the country, which is considered as one of the most important iron deposits in the world, with an estimated reserve of over 2 billion tons. The third and last project is a zinc mine in Béjaïa, in the northeast of the country, which is also considered as one of the largest worldwide, with a capacity of production of 2 million tons per year. The third priority area is that of expanding and modernizing the railway sector. One of the benefits of the mining projects that I have just mentioned is the expansion and modernization of the railway sector, as it has been decided to connect all these mining sites to the national railway network. This is particularly the case for the project of building the new mining railway line linking Béchar, Tindouf, Garage Billet over a distance of 950 kilometers. It is also the case for another project dedicated to the transport of phosphate from Tebessa in the east of the country, crossing 4 cities in the east and extending over a distance of 448 kilometers. Given the long-lasting and solid cooperation that our 2 countries have developed over the years in this specific field, I would like to encourage Austrian companies to grasp the many business opportunities arising from these projects. The Algerian government has recently earmarked a budgetary envelope of around $15 billion with the aim of constructing 6,000 kilometers of rail tracks across the country. The fourth priority area concerns the generation of water resources. Algeria has adopted an ambitious program of water desalination, by virtue of which 12 seawater desalination stations have already been constructed along the coastal strip. The entry into service of these 12 plants has increased the production of desalinated water up to 2 million cubic meters per day last year, which amounts to 18% of the population needs. Our objective is to reach 42% by the end of this year and 60% by 2030. That's why the Algerian government has recently launched the construction of 5 additional seawater desalination stations. Besides, Algeria has put in action an important program for the construction of many seawater treatment plants. The water treated by these plants will be reused in various sectors of activity, notably agriculture. And this brings me to the 5th and last priority area, which concerns the development of the agricultural sector. That is, traditional area of cooperation between Algeria and Austria. The agricultural sector presents an untapped opportunity for investors, specifically in the southern part of the country, where the objective is to make 3 million hectares ready for investment at large scales. The efforts deployed by the Algerian government during the last 4 years to prioritize this sector have started to yield their preliminary, substantive, remarkable results. The agriculture sector contributes nowadays for nearly 15% of our national GDP. It currently employs 20% of the national workforce. In view of the accelerating progress being achieved in this field, I sincerely believe that the next agrarian revolution will happen in Algeria, and most importantly, in the southern part of our country. Our goal is to develop strategic food branches, such as cereals, milk, red and white meat, by increasing areas under irrigation, continuing to electrify farms, increasing storage capacity, and subsidizing fertilizer prices. These are some of the priorities which I thought could be of a particular interest to Austrian companies, given the history of our bilateral relations. There are also many more other areas, such as startups, pharmaceutical industry, communication and information technologies, tourism, which all hold huge potential that is just waiting to be tapped. In conclusion, I would like to invite you to seize the numerous and huge business opportunities that Algeria is offering. And I encourage you most sincerely to be the driving force of the promising economic partnership between our two friendly nations. I can assure you once more that there is no better time to do so than now, because Algeria is finally unleashing its full potential as a credible and reliable partner in the world economy. Investing in Algeria means betting safely on a land full of opportunities and promises. I thank you very much for your attention.